Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Ask a Clutter Boss. I am Jess Marcy. I am your Clutter Boss for today. If you are joining us live, please say hello in the comments. Hello, Mary. If you're joining on replay, give us a hashtag replay. And if you have any burning questions, pop them into the comments. I would love to answer them live for you. Hello, Anne. Hello. Good morning. Christine, good morning. Good morning. All right. So the first question that we have is what to do when I am frozen in place. I just don't know where to start. I don't know how to get started. Good morning, Elizabeth. Hi, Carrie. What do I do when I am frozen in place? Hello, Tamra. Okay, so this is a great question. And actually, if you want to participate in the comments and let me know what you do when you're frozen, I would love to hear it. I think the best thing, when you feel stuck, when you go to do something and you just totally freeze, it's really important, first off, to recognize that. Just knowing that you're frozen and that you're stuck, having that awareness around it is step number one. So recognizing that you're trying to move forward, but your attempts are making you feel stuck or frozen is the first step of this process. I think I've heard a lot of people say, I'm tired or I'm lazy or kind of talk about their actions in a really derogatory way. And it is not laziness. It is definitely that your nervous system is just in fight or flight and or freeze, right? And it's frozen. It's frozen in place. Good morning, Amy. So recognizing that you're just stuck is the first part of this. So if you recognize it, that is fantastic. So then what do? I think when we're frozen, good morning, Trish, it's good to have a toolbox. Hello, Cappy. It's good to have a toolbox that we can reach into. So imagine like a carpenter wearing a tool belt. We need to have a tool belt for our decluttering. And that actually can literally be a list. When I'm feeling frozen, these are the steps that I can take. Good morning, Susan and Denise. And on that list, I would have options of things that you can do to get unstuck in the moment. A strategy such as touch and tackle, where you touch the first thing you see and decide what to do with it. That's a strategy that can be in your toolbox. You could have the option to turn on music, a motivating song, and see if you can get 3 to 4 minutes of action done just for the length of the song. You could reach out to a friend or a community member and say, hey, I'm stuck, get me going. You could do some breathing, right? So you could get yourself into like just a little calm spot, do some breathing. And while you're breathing, visualize what you're going to do when you're done with your minute or two of just kind of recentering. Visualization is such a huge thing. And it's a tool that I use almost without recognizing it, but visualizing yourself actually going through the steps, the next steps that you're going to take. I'm sitting down and you're actually imagining yourself standing up from wherever you are in the room that you're in. Imagine yourself walking over to whatever it is, picking it up and making a decision. Imagine yourself being unstuck. Imagine yourself in action. When you create that in your head, that image, that visualization, your body is prepped for it. This is how athletes, elite athletes will visualize themselves running their races and winning. You're prepping your body for it. There are some fascinating studies about the power of visualization where children were actually given practice to do on a piano. And some children had like actual practice, piano practice, and other children had visualization practice, visualizing their fingers, doing the right keystrokes and everything. The kids that had the visualization practice actually performed better than the kids that had the actual practice. There is power in your brain when you visualize. And when you are stuck And frozen, visualizing yourself doing something else, doing the getting unstuck, being unfrozen is absolutely huge. So put that into your toolbox. And when I say toolbox, I mean write yourself a list. Step one, I feel frozen. Where's that list? Where is that list that I can refer to? How can I start to get unstuck using the things that are on this list? Set a timer, always a fan favorite. Personally, I also love setting timers. Videotape yourself. You could do a time lapse of the work that you're doing. And then always, I think a good one to fall back on is if I'm feeling stuck with my decluttering, is there a chore that I can complete instead? Can I clean an area? Can I do the dishes? Can I fold some laundry? Just taking some action. Motion gets you set in motion, right? Like when you're in motion, you can stay in motion. So get in motion with a chore that always has to be done, like the laundry or the dishes or vacuuming. Start moving and you will create movement. Okay. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Patty. Hello, Snowbird. I would dig down to find the real emotions of why I'm feeling that way. Ask questions. Another great one to add to your list. Ask questions. Why am I stuck? Why do I feel this way? Dig a little deeper. Um, Hello from Minnesota, Cheryl. First time I tried to watch, could not see the chat, but had someone trying to sell me a cartoon sticker for $50. Anyone else have that problem? I had to totally get out of Facebook. I've never heard of anyone having that problem, but I'm glad that you are here on YouTube. And hopefully nobody will be selling any cartoon stickers in the comments for $50. The internet is like the Wild West sometimes. Good morning, Denise. All right, so that is what you do when you are feeling stuck. And if you have anything to add to your toolbox that you want to share with other people, please pop it into the comments. After this, I would definitely recommend sitting down and writing your list. You could also, we say write your list. You could make it a note in your phone if that's easier and more findable. Because sometimes digital clutter is easier to find if it's like a note on your phone than actually a note that you write down. But yeah, make yourself your toolbox. If there are any questions in the, in the chat, or if you have any questions, put them into the chat. Let's see. Awareness, watch my words, speak affirmations, speak gratitude, use a mental dump journal if necessary, set a buzzer for 10 minutes and do what I can. There's that little phrase, use what you have, do what you can, start where you are. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. I really like that. I remind myself of that often when I'm feeling overwhelmed. Use what you have, start where you are, do what you can. Take a walk, dancing, swaying, shaking, same theory. Motion, yes, get yourself moving. Still trying to figure out why I have trouble decluttering. I wonder if you can figure it out while you're decluttering. That's my other little tip is a lot of times we get stuck in the why. Why is it like this? Why? And I would say, think about why it's like that while you're doing the action. So don't, the why is at the bottom of the decluttering pile. Start decluttering and you're going to have a lot more understanding around why it's a struggle for you. Also, I think what we have found with a lot of our clients is it is the idea of an action that is worse than the actual action. So this happens a lot with memorabilia. In fact, we have boxes of memorabilia and we assume because it's memorabilia, because it's sentimental, it's going to be very difficult to go through it. But that assumption can be challenged because a lot of times when you open the box, you find that it's way easier than you thought it was going to be. And the same thing can be said for all decluttering. It may feel difficult, but when you actually start doing it, it's actually not so bad. So I would say test all of your assumptions. If you believe that you struggle with something, test it out. Do I really struggle with this? Let me try doing it and see if it's really a struggle or if there's, it's the story that I'm telling myself. So I'm working in the garage and need help. It's a constant struggle. So Vicky, is it a constant struggle because it's like an ongoing spot? One of the problems with garages, and kind of these, like, there's nobody who has executive control over the area. So when you have a space in your house and it doesn't belong to any one person, it's anyone's space. That means anyone can drop stuff there and nobody is responsible for picking it up because nobody has responsibility over the space. Our garage is a massive, constantly in flux situation. I actually, because our garage has so much going on all the time, there's projects in there, people are dropping stuff, there's shoes, there's just stuff, right? It's coming and going and coming and going. Because it is such an active zone when it comes to things, stuff, clutter, it is on my list of spaces to hit pretty much every single day. So it's one of my everyday, make sure the garage is to zero, right? To its reset point, reset the garage every day. That's how much activity our garage has, and that's how much attention our garage needs on a everyday basis. Somebody going through it and just making sure things are put away, things are, we'll have like towels on the floor because it's raining and we're drying off the dog. Well, those towels need to go to the washer, right? Like all of these things. And I definitely do ask other people to help, and other people do help. But I have taken that on as my responsibility to go and reset it every day because it bothers me the most. So, and I get on top of the kids, pick up your stuff, and they do. But life happens. So yeah, it's a dump zone. I know. Uh, I know. But it's just once you get it to zero, and when we say get it to zero, we mean get it to its 0 point. Like there's nothing out of place. Then resetting it frequently can really help. But yeah, it is frustrating. You could also possibly give responsibility to that space to somebody if that works in your family dynamic. Can you please stay on top of this space? Can this be your responsibility? Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, P. Jackson, how to stop the pattern of recluttering after I have decluttered. Oh yeah, so in our signature program, Clutter Boss Blueprints, we focus so much on stopping the flow in and building habits. If you want to maintain a decluttered space, you have to have habits around that, and you have to have habits around consumption. So this is something that takes a while to develop, right? Because habits don't just happen overnight. It helps to have a lot of support and accountability. But basically, you get your space decluttered and you don't do anything else until you have developed the habit to maintain that decluttered space, period. So every day you're going back and resetting the space until it just is part of who you are. And then you move on to the next space because you have the habit of maintaining a decluttered space already. So you can add a space to it. It takes time, it takes effort, but it's absolutely possible for everyone. So that's how you do that. It's not an easy fix, right? It's not an easy fix, but it is an investment in yourself and with your time and with your habits that pays you back in dividends because you get so much time back, you get so much peace back, and you get so much just ease in your life, which is what we all deserve. All right. Some fantastic questions. I really appreciate everyone being here live today. If you have any questions for a future episode, please pop them into the comments, put them onto our question form, and don't forget to join us again, same time. Oh, actually, I don't think there is an Ask a Clutter Boss next week because it's 4th of July week, and we have a different schedule next week. I will go verify that. But we may or may not be here next week. We will definitely be here the week after that, though. So if I don't see you next week, have a lovely holiday week. If you have a holiday week, and hey, maybe get some decluttering done. Have a wonderful day, everyone.